So welcome everybody to our Sunday night training on May the 26th. We have our amazing leader, Fawcett. I'm going to mute everybody actually just so I can have a little quiet. There we go. Okay. So Tanya's doing our training tonight, and she has been doing the training on the send out and share training. And so I thought I'm always a great one for, some people would say pass it off to somebody else. I'm not that. It's that I don't believe in recreating the wheel. And I believe in that when we all work together, when Plexus puts out trainings, it's always great just to go with somebody who's doing it better than what I'm doing. Or if any of you guys have that idea where you think, I can't do this because I can't train, I can't put these things out there for other people, this looks like it's too much. Trust me, there's always somebody that is doing it for us and helping us to carry that load. So Tanya and I were talking one day, and she said, I've been training my team on the send, share, invite method. And I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to do that a little bit more in depth. Would you mind doing that? Because she's already done it. So, and plus she's an amazing leader, and I know her team loves her and they love to hear from her too. So I like to showcase her tonight for that. And I want to really thank you, Tanya, for doing that. I appreciate it so much. Before you get started in that, I just wanted to kind of give us some things about what's going on this week, because it's a little bit different. As I was saying earlier, tomorrow is Memorial Day in the States, and so Plexus is closed tomorrow. So that means there's no Monday motivation and there's no Monday night opportunity meeting. So the only thing going on this week is just the Tuesday product call, which you'll find over on the Plexus Ambassador community page of Facebook, and that is at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then also I'm hosting a meeting along with team members are helping me with storytelling and things like that in St. John on Tuesday, also at 7 p.m. Atlantic time. So if you have any team in St. John, New Brunswick, definitely make sure you let them know that there is a meeting in St. John. And we're really looking forward to that meeting. So we've got a couple of teams there now, our team and another team that we're working together with to get that momentum going in St. John and fanning the fire down there and getting it restarted again. So that's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for that. And then we also have our half off enrollment ends May 30th. So we only have another 3 days, really, basically, to get our enrollments in at half off. And that's for the Canadian market and the United States market, as well as Australia. And then the Rise Up 369 ends on May 30th also. So if you guys are really close to that rank of within that 3, 6, or 9, definitely give it a little push for the end of the month so you can get those really cool prizes and go for it. So then also June 1st is the beginning of Leaders Retreat credits. And so for those, again, just to kind of give you a little background on that, Leaders Retreat is an earned incentive trip. It's a retreat, and Plexus pays for the accommodations of it and some of your meals. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit more intimate, of where you get to have one-on-one training with Jules, and you get to meet other people on a more quieter setting than convention. Convention's pretty rowdy with, over 10,000 people there. But Leaders Retreat typically has about 4,000 to 5,000 people. So it's a great fun time. We always have, no matter what event it is with Plexus, we always have a lot of fun. So Tanya, I'm just going to let you take it away, and you do what you feel to do. Of course, you have an open platform. So looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. And Krista, I really appreciate you hosting these trainings every week. I know that, I really appreciate coming to them, and I know that our teams are benefiting. So I think, traditionally we've had training, and then I had not had training for a time because Plexus has stepped up to do things. And that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight, is what they're offering for us. And one thing I want to say before I start is we're all busy. Every single one of us is busy. the expression busy people get stuff done is not cliche by any stretch of the imagination. I just spent my whole weekend at my kids were involved in a show, and there were 3 showings of this 2-hour show. That was not an excuse for me tonight to not show up for training. And it also was not an excuse for me not to work my business this weekend. I just fit it in where I could. And that's kind of what makes this system that I'm going to talk to you about tonight so incredible. Is my connection okay?
Yep.
Awesome. So I want to start off by saying just a couple things. I do have a really short PowerPoint, and I'm going to show you through some stuff in our virtual office. This is going to be short and sweet, so just hang on tight. If you've got a pen handy and you want to take some notes, great. These graphics I'm going to show you tonight, I stole them completely from Monday Motivation and from the trainings that I've been doing with Genevieve Scory. She's been providing those to us, and we're going to talk about those a bit too. But I just want to start out by asking you guys, and this is going to be a bit interactive. I want to ask you, how many of you got no's today from somebody? How many of you guys, just pop it in the chat. If you got a no from somebody, just write it in the chat. So I'm going to open my chat so I can see what you're saying. So if you got 1 or more no's, I want you to pop it in the chat for me. You don't have to tell me how many you got unless you want to. So if you got some no's today, write it in on the chat. I don't see anything there yet. So Krista Barton, yay, way to go. Tammy got an ignore. Whoop, whoop. Nicole got a no. Angie got a no. She got a few no's today. Oh, yes, no. Love it. Love it. I got lots of crickets today, personally. So there you go. Those are no's. Tammy's like, I got a sort of no. No, those are no's. So congratulations, because yay, Erica, that's awesome. I know that sounds crazy, right? But the thing is, if you're getting no's, then you're actually taking your business to the next level without even realizing it. Because research tells us, and our own experience will tell us, that we can be talking to somebody for a really, really long time. And I want to ask you guys, again, in the chat, how many of you took more than 5 times being exposed to Plexus before you decided that you were going to join? Okay, so pop it in the chat. Me, 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 me. If you were a person who took a while, you were exposed to Plexus 5 times or more, put me. Took me 5 months, Krista says. Vicky says me. Robin says me. Krista says me. Erica says, took a while, can't remember. I remember, Erica. Okay, so.
I participate in the chat, Tanya, because I don't know how to do it on my iPad.
Oh, that's okay. I saw you raising your hand. That's wicked. That's
okay.
Awesome, Helen. Thank you. That's great. So, okay, I want to say this. So some people exposed how long. So Erica says she's not sure how long. And in Erica's defense, not that you need a defense, Erica, but I know that that you got pregnant in the middle and didn't have that belief in Plexus and decided to wait till after too. Took me days. Nicole got me fast. That's good. Tammy says 5 to 6 months. Okay, so I want to tell you something. I watched people from where I grew up, which is Carleton County. I watched them post about Plexus. I wouldn't even read it because it just didn't appeal to me to read it. There was nothing appealing about it. We're going to talk about that tonight too. But not that there was nothing appealing. I'm sorry, that was rude. There were probably appealing things, but they just didn't grab me. And so I knew what the name was, but it wasn't until Julie reached out to me and talked to me that I was kind of motivated to learn more, if you will. So we know then, and guys, I'm sure I watched those posts for, oh my word. I know I watched those posts for, it was over a year. But it wasn't until I actually heard from Julie that I understood that there was more to it. So what am I telling you? Someone reached out to me, even though I had been exposed to it. So when you say, oh, that person would never, you should think about this for a second. If you don't reach out to them, somebody else will. Somebody else will. And I can't tell you how many times I have signed someone up that I barely knew, but I met them somewhere. And I started talking to them about Plexus. And that's why they joined me. They didn't join me because of my post. The post lets people know you're still there. Okay. But tonight we're going to talk about sending, sharing, and inviting, which are the 3 steps that we know are there for us. And if you're just coming into Plexus, which I look around and I see there are some of us like that right now, you're coming in at such an amazing time because this system is new and we're all learning about it together. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly here so that I can share my PowerPoint with you. Again, I promise it's short and sweet, but I want to start off by just showing you this slide. I'm just going to move us over so I can see what I'm doing. This is the Touches library. And again, none of this is mine, you guys. This is stuff that I totally ripped from Genevieve Scory because it is the bomb. She is the most amazing educator. And I hope, and I'm going to show you our calendar here in a minute so that you can see how you can plug yourself into these touches so that you can get exposed to them and then be sharing them with others. But she's not new. I first met her at Leaders Retreat in October, and I knew she was a real deal. Like, she is the trainer of trainers. She is the leader of leaders. She understands our language. She knows how to teach us and train us and provide us with these wonderful systems. So what we know is that it takes many interactions per person. We all have just acknowledged this. It takes many interactions per person, and we often call those touches. So that's where this touches comes from, okay? So we have business videos, we have product training videos, we have live webinars, lunch or coffee dates, we have our success from home, and on and on and on these things go that you can see in this graphic. I'm going to tell you right now that these are what work. But you have to understand where they are, how to use them, and that's going to be really important for you to impart to your level 1 ambassadors and train them to duplicate that down through their teams. And if you have someone who's not willing, or maybe they're starting at the same time as someone else on their team, which is how Julie and I started, then you're going to want to train them both, and you're going to want to work with them both and really pour into those people. And it doesn't mean you have to know everything. You don't have to be a good teacher. You just have to share what you know about this. So we know that it takes at least 6 to 7 touches, and we know that that takes time. And this is really all about putting, and I'm going to use this expression, putting people in your pipeline. And we use the word also funnel, I guess. And Krista mentioned Leaders Retreat. If you thought for 1 second, when Krista said Leaders Retreat a few minutes ago, if you thought for 1 second, oh, your eyes glazed over, that's not me, I could never earn Leaders Retreat. You guys, I earned Leaders Retreat, didn't have a clue how I did it. I just worked hard and I shared with everybody that I knew. So trust me when I tell you that a few months into your business, you can earn Leaders Retreat. Tammy Allaby is on here. She earned Leaders Retreat within a few months of starting her business as well. It is totally manageable, totally doable. So if you're new, please don't jump off this call, because this applies to everybody. So these touches can take place over 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. In my case, it would have been over a year. Think about it. I talked about all those times that people that they shared with me. So I want to just take you over to show you where these touches are. And I want to tell you right now, if you embrace this process, you will be successful. Touches are always the next step. I got some notes off to the side here, things that you use. And I'd just like you to take a second, if you can. Helen, I'm just going to get you you can unmute yourself and tell us, what is your favorite touch of all these touches? What is your favorite touch that you use when you reach out to people?
Social team event.
Yes, definitely. Show the fun side, get people into our community. Our community is so, so, so important. I'm going to look through. I can't see the chat right now for some reason. Oh, no, I can. Maybe I can. Oh, yes, I can. Videos. Yeah. In person and video. Yeah, absolutely. Coffee dates and videos. Mm-hmm. Good answers, you guys. Awesome. Excellent. Okay. So I want to jump over to to our personal office, our virtual office, personal dates and videos. And I just want to take you guys to like take a look. Now, I want you to notice that I'm in the US side of our virtual office. You can get there. Down here, there's a little box. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to lose being in the United States here because we're on a Zoom and you can't change it once you're in. But you can change that. Right now, yours would say Canada if you logged in, but you can change that to United States English. And then you're going to get this amazing view, okay? And all of these great files and stuff. So if you go under Training Center in your virtual office, you go to Resource Library, that's where I am right now, okay? Before we talk about Send, Share, Invite, because the tools that were on that graphic are here, I want you to look at this monthly training calendar with me for a quick second. So if you haven't yet looked at this, you should get this every month printed off, okay? I don't have a color printer and I don't care. I just print it off in black and white and I have it ready. It's new, guys, like it's very new. But notice it was just May the other day. Now it's May and June. So we're rolling into June as well. And if you click on the flag, you'll get to the one that you want to see. Excuse me, I'm just going to scroll down here. And I'm going to be honest, I look at the U.S. Ambassador Support Calendar and the Canadian one because I want to see everything that's there, okay? Krista was talking about some dates that are coming up. Like, you'll see them on here as well. Here's the half-off enrollment incentive ends today, for example, on the 31st. But notice that every week there's really great stuff happening. We know from that tools graphic, and also if you've been with us for a while, that when you get to the point where you're inviting people to see something other than a video or talking, that you invite them to a social event or something, those are all listed here, all of them. Everything from our opportunity calls to, look at this, on Tuesday nights, there's a product call where we get to learn more about products if that's what you wanted to be doing and that's how you want to be growing. You'll notice there's a welcome to Plexus for new ambassadors here. That's crazy good. That's amazing. These Motivation Mondays that I was talking about, these are incredible. They're amazing. Notice that here we're still in May. The one on the 20th was with Ame Darling. This one here was with Jennifer Leith. There's not one tomorrow, as Krista mentioned, because it's Memorial Day in the States. But those Motivation Mondays are the best training you will ever see. Genevieve Scory is on there sharing what her jam, her passion, and they're incredible. There are others as well. Some of them are by invitation only, like the Leadership Excellence. Excuse me. But once a month, we also have Silver Success. And we're all about developing silvers and getting people to silver on our teams. That's what this business is all about. So that's a great training to plug yourself into it all as well. Now, if you're thinking, how am I supposed to do all this training? And how am I supposed to prospect? I'm going to tell you right now, if you really, really, really want to move forward and you really want to grow a team and you really want to be successful, it is worth the time. Miss the TV show. Go to the training. I'm just saying. And if you're thinking, well, I'm working, a lot of the time they are recorded. Okay. So you have to get plugged into our ambassador community pages. So Plexus Ambassador Community, write that down. If you're not already on there, you need to get on there. Ask your sponsor to invite you to join. And then you're going to click join and you're there. Plexus Ambassador Community, that's the other one. You're going to want to be in there. Okay. So again, that calendar, totally amazing. Notice all the incentives and promotions are listed down here. Like, it's all done for us. You shouldn't be looking for anything. This is the brain right here. Your virtual office is the brain of your business. It's very amazing. I'm going back over to your virtual office right now because I want to start talking about the sharing system now. So here is the Start Here, Start Now. So that's some formative learning that you can do. If you wish. I would go straight to that monthly training calendar. It's been a long weekend. And I would totally plug myself into that training. If that's what you have time to do in this section of your training center, that's what I would do. Next, we're going to skip past sharing system because I'm going to explain it out to you. Send is your first step. So I talked about touching. Okay, that didn't sound very good. I talked about the touches and making sure that you're touching to people and providing them with information. And we're going to look at a graphic in a second, but all the send resources are here. Okay, look, send, step 1. All the videos are here. It's on you to watch these. They are 3 minutes at most long. They are very concise. They're easy to watch. They're emotionally moving. They're thought-provoking. They're inspiring, and they're very, very useful. There's also some product marketing videos that are all put here in one little place for you to use. That's amazing. Okay. And you can send people links to these things as you're talking to them. But let's go back over to the PowerPoint for a quick second so that we can look at how this all looks. Okay. So the journey of a new prospect, when you're sending and you're sharing and you're inviting, this is the journey. It might take a week, like we said. It might take a month. It might take a year. It could take longer. Okay. But keeping it simple when you're reaching out to people is the most important thing you can do. Literally, you ask this question: do you have 3 to 5 minutes to watch a video? That's it. That's it. Okay. So once you've said, I'm really excited about this new thing that I'm doing,
Is she muted just on her end? Or are you guys all muted? Or I mean, sorry, not muted, I mean frozen.
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Oh, she must have disconnected. I was going to pick up and carry on.
how long was I gone for?
Oh, just like 2 minutes, not even.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
That's why I asked about my internet connection. Okay. I'm going to go back to where I was here. Am I still not very well connected, or?
No, you were perfect right up until you froze that one moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I was talking about it could take a week. It could take a month. It could take a year. And the simplicity of the verbiage to reach out to people. So when you reach out to people, you really just want to communicate your excitement. People buy your passion in the sense of like wanting to continue the conversation, buying, not as in buying product, okay, or buying your business. People will respond to you if you are interesting and you appear interested in them. Okay, so you really have to show that to people by explaining how excited you are. If you're brand new to Plexus, you're like, I'm so excited about this new thing I'm working on. Would love to share it with you. Do you have 3 to 5 minutes to watch a quick video? That's it. If you've been doing it for a while and you know this person's been watching you, and maybe you're further along in the relationship of your business. Let's say you've been doing Plexus for 3 years like me, and it's the first time you're reaching out to somebody. I might say something like, I might make a joke like, you've probably noticed how excited I am about this thing that I'm up to. I would love to share more with you about what has my heart ticking faster. Do you have 3 to 5 minutes to watch a quick video? So it's authentic. It's still coming across that way. You literally send that video, and notice that this little part of the graphic here, okay? I'm just going to go ahead of screen. This is the lead you didn't know you had. It is in Freedom Revolution. It's on my team page. You can get it out of your send, share, invite in your virtual office. This document is crazy good because you can keep track of your list. I made this name up, Mandy Bowes. Once you've sent Mandy something, you can actually check it off if this is how you want to keep track. It's not the only way you can keep track, but Plexus has given us this tool, and I think it's really, really great. So you can click off, yes, I sent Mandy a video, okay? Notice that there's a spot for share and a spot for invite, and there's also a spot for follow-ups. So that's all really good stuff. So that is something that if you're looking for something and you're thinking, I've got my lists are all over the place and I need to like consolidate it, but I'm not a complicated person. I don't want to deal with something technology-wise. Grab this. It's so good, and it's a great memory jogger too, okay? But getting back to this, notice, this is where a lot of people lose their confidence. That's what I want to say. They get to the send, they're like, woo, I sent the video. It's all over with, right? No, this is just the beginning of the journey, and you need to not wait long. See this wait 10 minutes? Create a sense of urgency. If you are the person rolling the dice and you are the person driving the conversation, people need you to do that. They need you to tell them what to do without telling them what to do. So when you send the video, you're going to say, I'll follow up with you, or not follow up, sorry. I'm going to check back in with you in, 10 minutes or so and see how you made out. Okay. They'll tell you if they're not going to be around in 10 minutes. Okay. And then you can just make a further appointment. But creating that sense of urgency is very important. Now, wouldn't it be perfect if everybody signed up with you after these first 3 steps? You ask, you send, you wait, then you ask. Now, it's got a phone here. And I know a lot of people said they like to call people on the phone. It's okay to send a message at this point and ask them, so what'd you think? And you're going to notice that most of the follow-up in the send, share, invite is, what did you think? So it's like, it's a no-brainer. The problem is, though, you need to do the follow-up and you need to send the stuff. So we're going to talk about more of these tools that you can send. And Sally's response in a perfect world would be, I loved it. What can I do to get started? And then, you know what? Yeah, I would recommend this for you because you've talked about XYZ. Okay. If you are new and you're looking at this and you're like, I don't know what to tell Sally to get. I don't know where this is. I don't know what that's where your sponsor needs to handhold you through those first moments and those first weeks so that you can get what you need. And if your sponsor's not doing that, ask them. Okay. And sponsors, you should be doing that. That is part of what we sign up for. If you want to grow a team, you have to do that. There is no way around that. Okay. So I want to show you this next slide. Notice it may take weeks. All right. So here's the first, what did you think? It was really interesting. Then follow up. Okay. That follow up is dialogue. Okay. So maybe it could be that you're sending them more things, more tools. Okay. It could be that you're involving your sponsor, and oftentimes you will be. Look at this, no answer crickets. We talked about crickets earlier. It's normal. It's normal. This is the place where most people they're like, I'm done. No, they're going to hate me. I'm being pushy. No, you're not. Think about all the times I saw all those posts, and then my friend, those people planted all the seeds, but they didn't come ask me. Those people planted all the seeds and they didn't come ask me. So it's like you're planting deeper seeds. You have to keep asking. Okay. If you get no answer, you don't keep sending the same stuff. Pivot to the relationship. And that's what this says. You know what? What a cute picture of your kids at Pinocchio this weekend. That must have been very fulfilling for your family. Or, I saw you went on a family fishing trip and somebody got a big salmon. Wow, that's super cool. Like anything authentic. Something that, I was thinking about you. How's your mom doing if their mom was ill? Go back to the relationship piece and continue over time to continue to build that relationship. And now this is my favorite, when the time is right. You're going to feel that. And if you're having a problem predicting or feeling that, you need to trust yourself. And you need to not hesitate because of fear. And I say that not loosely. It was interesting because, this weekend I watched a bunch of kids make mistakes on stage and continue to smile and go and do and convince an audience that they were doing great. And they didn't lament about it after when they got off stage. Do you know why? Because they haven't had the experience yet. Unfortunately for them, they haven't had the experience yet of that rejection and being halted by fear. If only we could do that in our Plexus business. But it's a learned skill. So my suggestion to you would be, do your best, do your absolute best to just count backwards from 5. And those of you going to convention will get to hear Mel Robbins talk about the 5-second rule. Count backwards from 5 and just go for it. Take those 3 seconds of fear. 3 seconds is all it's going to do to be able to push through, and then say, listen, you know what? I know that you were circling around Plexus And I know that, I dropped that conversation with you, but I feel like now would be a really good time to tell you about XYZ. And that's how you could re-enter it. That's it. And that, to a lot of people on my team, has been an issue with understanding sort of when to be able to get back into the conversation about Plexus after the relationship building, okay? Then you can send again because you have so many tools. And by then you're going to know what you want to send to them based on the conversation. And by then, guys, please get on the phone or meet them for a coffee or do a video call or invite your sponsor in to do a 3-way call, okay? Here's another one that may take months. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but look at this. You're sharing so many more things. You're sharing videos, but you're also sharing a testimonial. You're sharing an event, inviting them to one of our live opportunity meetings, which are on the calendar. Look at the calendar, okay? Sending them a link, reminding them right before it starts. That is how you get closer to having someone join you. And I just want to tell you something. I have had more than this many interactions and have had people join me and do the business and the products, okay? So please, and Genevieve says in all her training, like, where we fall short is where we give up too soon. It's when we give up too soon. And most of us give up too soon. I'm very guilty of having given up too soon on people. And guess what? They joined somebody else. They did. And so I would invite you to think about that. Okay. All right. So that's the end of the PowerPoint. I'm going to stop my share for a quick second, but I wanted to share also with you guys. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, right. Sorry. No, I can't do that yet. Okay. So I just wanted to share with you the next steps. So we talked a lot about sending tools, right? The sharing part would be the testimonial, sharing your own personal story, okay? If you haven't yet, go and take a look at sharing your story. There's all kinds of training on how to do it properly. It's amazing, and it's not complicated, okay? If you are the kind of person that needs to watch a video on how to do it, it's there. If you're the kind of person that needs to look at a presentation, it's there. Exchanging terms, instead of saying this, try saying it this way instead. Amazing, amazing file right there, okay? Frequently asked questions about telling your story. Like, it's right there. It's so neat. So that would be the next step, sharing resources, sharing your story. If you haven't taken a look at Diamond Documentaries, please take some time to go and click on this. They're so good, and there's one that will apply to every single person you talk to. The Allison Bro Diamond documentary video I have used for so many people whom I know. It's just so real, and it really tells the story of rising up from, being very broke, which is, the case with so many people that I talk to. But there's also lots of stories about teachers and about nurses and about, stay-at-home moms and people who just rise up in those ways as well. There's some great blog posts, success from home, and how to share that to your business potentials. It's so great, all of it. So take a look at, that's another tool, okay? And then that's inviting them to events like we talked about. Helen talked about inviting people to the Plexus social events on our team, but there's also like how to host a sip and see, and how to have an informal like living room, get to know Plexus thing with your friends. It's all right there. So do follow those steps, send it, share it, invite to, and we have lots of things to invite people to, whether it's online or in person. We are really good at that. So make sure that you're showing people all those things. Really quick before we close tonight, I just want to say, I think in order for us to get good at the system, it's like everything else, we have to practice it. And you have to fall in love with it too. You have to fall in love with the process of doing it and embrace it. If you are really, and the reason I can say this honestly is I have done this. If you're in such a rush to go so fast, your prospects are going to feel that. If you fall in love with what you're doing, your prospects are going to know that. They're going to feel it from you. They're going to know it by how you posture yourself with your voice, with your messages, whatever, however you're communicating with people. They are going to know how you feel. And if you rush the send, share, invite, you're right. You are going to push people away. Absolutely, 150%. You really have to listen. You have to be interested, not interesting. You have to be interested, not interesting. That means you've got to listen to your prospects. I just want to talk for another second too about social media and how you're using social media. We've all done this. The Kermit the Frog, I always use this analogy, the Kermit the Frog graphics. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're the really salesy graphics where you might have an actor or maybe not an actor, maybe Kermit the Frog or, some graphic where it's very salesy and it's all like pink and pink drink spilled all over the place. And you really want to watch how many of those you're using, because you don't want to look like a sales board or a billboard, like a buy, swap, and sell for your Plexus business. You really want to attract people to what it is that you're passionate about, so that people know that when they look at your profile, they're going to see the things that you love. And you're going to lace and sprinkle Plexus into those things. Let me give you an example. I haven't posted it yet, but whenever I see an opportunity, I'll take pictures of different things and just kind of like tuck them away. I use them for my Instagram and for my Facebook. And for example, my little guy was a little bear in this show, this weekend, and he was taking a drink out of my Plexus water bottle at the show. I'm going to do a post about the cute little bear and about what a rewarding experience it was, which is absolutely authentic and true, because that's how I post about my family and about what we're up to. But my little guy has a Plexus water bottle in his hands. And that's just reminding people once again that I'm still doing this thing. Okay. I don't have to say Plexus. That's our lifestyle. The water bottle is going to say it for me. Okay. But it's also showing like, no matter what we're doing, we're still a Plexus family. And that's kind of how I sprinkle Plexus into my social media. One thing, and that's just one example. I mean, you could have your pink drink on the picnic table, and you could, be mowing the lawn, or your husband's mowing the lawn or something. And, you take it's a wonderful summer day, and you don't say, there's my pink drink, we're mowing the lawn. Your pink drink's just sitting there. It's ways of reminding people that you're doing it. Something else that you can do is grab onto an article that's about an ingredient that's in one of the products. For example, chromium in the Slim. It's such a great ingredient. There's so much great info out there that you can Google. If you're looking for anything, let me know. I've got lots of stuff saved. Don't mind sending it to you and sharing it with you. Those are the types of things you want to be posting about, okay? Take a picture of yourself being excited about this ingredient and what it's done for you. And then in the comment section, post the article so that it's more attractive for people to look at when they're scrolling by, okay? And if you're thinking, like I used to think, because I was going to say you're probably thinking, I used to dislike selfies to the point of before I started Plexus, there wasn't one picture of me on Facebook, not one. And it probably took me, it took me a while. It took me probably 3 months of doing the business before I even, with any sort of confidence, posted a picture about myself, which if you follow me, you probably wouldn't believe me, but that's true. The thing is, people aren't looking for you to be the most beautiful thing in the world. They're looking for authenticity. People are looking for community. They're looking to belong to something. And that's what your profile could do for someone if you set it up that way. And you don't have to have a million filters. You don't have to have all this fancy pantsy stuff. Just be yourself and kind of try to lace Plexus in those various ways, and just showing your excitement for life and being positive and, not buying into some of the drama that kind of can happen on social media. And then lastly, when it comes to, how other people post stuff and you're like, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen. I wish I had posted that. Does this happen to anybody else? Yes? Okay, cool. So it happens to us all. So here's what you do. There's a couple things. You save it in the top right-hand corner. There's a little pull-down tab. Save it. Save it for later. Don't share it the same day. Like I said with my pictures, I kind of stockpile them, and then I don't do it like with any sort of intention. I'm just like, what did I do that day? And I scroll, oh, there's a cute one. I'll grab that. So like, it's not because I'm super organized. Trust me. So when you go into your saved stuff later, you've got stuff there. Do not just share it. I hope you guys are repeating that after me in your homes. Do not just share it. So in other words, don't just hit share and then make a little comment about it. Copy it, copy the text. You can also copy the graphic if you wish, if it applies to you, okay? Change the text if you need to. For example, if you don't have a little boy named Robbie and you borrow my text, change it, right? To your cat named Fred or to nothing, whatever you want to do. But change the text so that it sounds like you. That's the other thing. Like, I never say y'all unless it's an accident. I don't type that in my post. So if I'm going to share a Sonia Dudley post, hers are full of y'alls. I'm going to do something different, but I like the content. Like, I really like the meat and potatoes of it. So I'll just grab the meat and potatoes and leave the frill and put my own types of emojis that I'm used to using, that people are used to seeing, like my XO and exclamation marks and my fireworks and the other things that I particularly use. Use those. And you know what? If the graphic is of Sonia and her family, grab one of you and your family. Even if it, like, make a silly pose. People love those if you're worried about how good you look. But don't just share it. You know, like if Angie puts up a post and it's an amazing post about, you know, something she just learned about Plexus and it's really amazing and this and that. Don't just share Angie's post. Copy and paste the content. Make it yours. No one cares. And for goodness sakes, don't go in the comment section and say, can I share this, please? No. They'll let you. And they don't have copyright on it anyways. So don't worry about it. We all share it. We're all happy when someone shares it. You know, it's the biggest form of flattery, imitation. So just embrace it. Okay? Don't worry about it. Whenever anybody asks me if they can share it, I'm going to be honest with you. In the comments of my posts, I delete it. Because I don't want my audience seeing that. I don't want my audience to see that somebody has said, oh, can I share your, because it just, to me, that took my beautiful post and makes it look a little bit salesy. And if you've done it, don't feel bad, because I think everybody's done it at one time or another until they learned how to do this thing. Okay. But that's just a word of advice for that. So I guess if I was going to leave you with something, I would say, lock arms with your sponsor. It's so important. If your sponsor's not active, look up through your organization or your sideline, meaning even people who aren't on your sponsor's team. Look to them and say, listen, do you think that I could get some guidance from you? Because we are truly one Plexus, and I know that they would totally do it. Okay. And so follow them. Listen to what they tell you to do. If it feels wrong in your heart, find someone else. That's fine. Okay. But you need to lock arms with someone so that you have that feeling of belonging and accountability. This system works. You have to give it time. You have to be patient. You're not going to go diamond in 30 days. You have to be patient, and you have to give it time, and you have to love the process, and don't rush it. And I think that's all I've got.
That was awesome. Awesome. You always do such a great job. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Where did you get your graphics? Do you have those just in like photo images where you can maybe share them in the Sunday night training area?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, because they'd be great to have too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that was great. And so what Tanya showed is how easy this is for the sending and sharing. And some might be thinking, oh, but I found it so overwhelming because there's so much. Where do I begin? What do I choose? Like, I don't even know where to begin. But that's only because you're not doing it right at the moment. So you haven't in your own mind organized your own system within the system of Plexus. Mm-hmm. And something that I just want to share with you that I do to make it easy. I don't know if I shared this last week or not, but I've created my own system within the system. So in my notes, I do what, I don't know if you can see this, but it says, it's kind of glary, but it's recruiting. It says recruiting up here. That's my note title in my notes on my phone. And then I just simply have the first one at the very top is medical professions, the one that was just played last Thursday night with the 4 medical professions. So within that, I have, you know, the information. You can't see it at all, I'm sorry. The information and then the graphic. So it shows me very easily. And I had ran into a girl when I was in Boston and introduced a Plexus to her, and she was super excited. So when I get out to the car, literally within like a minute, I had sent her information about, so great to meet you. Here was a little bit more of what I thought you might find inspiring about our company, and just copied that link. And I actually gave her the graphics too in text message because I have her text number now. So that was a case of where my system within the system was super easy because I didn't have to log in, go find something, and then, you know, get frustrated because it was taking so long to log in, all that kind of stuff. So you will get your own system down, because what I find too is it becomes almost repetitive in what we send out when we get used to sending certain things out over and over again. So aside from the relationship part is a little bit different because that's within each person. So just take your time, like Tanya said, and learn. And it's not a race. And I think that's where most people get the biggest discouragement is they're comparing each other to others. You know, maybe Susie Q got 5 ambassadors this month, and you're like, oh, it must be nice to be Susie Q, you know, and then you just kind of, you're flatline in your own mentality because you're comparing. It's not a race. It's just journey, and it's what you learn along the way. And I think we're really developing leaders to be strong leaders through what we're learning in all of this too, that it's not a race, it's a journey. And everything you do and every step forward that you do is success, as long as you're moving forward, right? Even taking your products is moving forward. Staying, you know, with in your 100 PV is moving forward. So just always stay consistent. Don't ever get discouraged because you're not getting ahead as fast as you want, but learn as to why maybe you're not getting ahead, and then assess it from there. So thank you so much, Tanya. I really, really appreciate that. It was great, great learning. And I'm going to unmute everybody so everybody can say good night. And if you could put those graphics in, like we had talked about in the that post, that'd be great.
Sure.
So thank you everybody so much for joining. So great as always, and have a great night, a great week.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Later, buddy.
Oh. Right in your elbow. Good.